were created by the Word of God. We find that through the Bible, Genesis chapter 1, the first book of Moses, it says that God said, and then things happen. We find in the first 3 verses of the Bible, God created the heavens and the earth. And verse 2 said, the earth was without formal order, and there was chaos, and there was darkness and ignorance and lack of purpose. In verse 3, it says, and God said. And in verse 6, and God said. Verse 11, and God said. Verse 14, and God said. Verse 20, and God said. Verse 24, and God said. And so things were created by the way God spoke or by His Word. But turn to Hebrews, if you will. Hebrews chapter 1 gives us a little bit more insight into this powerful process. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2 says, it was Jesus Christ through whom God made the universe. Do you see that there? It's a powerful statement. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2. It was through Jesus Christ that God made the universe. What an awesome statement. There are 500 million galaxies that scientists have found and counted so far. They estimate that there are another 500 million that they cannot see because their telescopes have not been able to reach that far yet. Could you imagine 500 million galaxies? A galaxy is a multiplicity of solar systems. Our solar system is only one solar system among many solar systems in one galaxy, and there are 500 million of those galaxies. That means there are multi-millions times millions of planets and stars like our sun that exist, and all of them were made by who? Jesus Christ, it says here. Not only did He make all of them, but look at what it says about Him. It says, and the Son is the image of the glory of God and the exact representation of His being. I want you to underline that, please. Not only did He create everything that we see and cannot see, but it also states that He is the representation or the radiance of God's glory. The King James says He is the express image of God. Underline that, please. The one who made the universe and all that is in it is also the same one who created everything by His Word. He also is the image and the express glory of God. Write the word glory down for a moment. This is going to be important here. He is the image and the glory of God. Whenever you see the word image of God in reference to Christ, it usually follows by the word glory, because glory comes from image. Now look at the last part of that verse. It says, and He upholds all things, or He sustains all things. How? By the word of His power, or by His powerful word. Not only did He make everything with His word, but He sustains it by His word. Here's something important then. If Jesus the Christ, who created all the universe, is also the manifested image of God, and then God said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, let us make man in our own image. Let us manifest our image in him. Then shouldn't it be the same as Christ and man being the same manifestation? Yes. It means that mankind were made after the fashion of Christ. Christ is the invisible image of God manifested, and then God made man in that image. Therefore, we are in the image of Christ. Now, the word image must be understood. Write that down quickly. Let us make man in our own image and in our likeness. The word image is a Hebrew word that should be translated spiritual nature and character. Write that down. God said, let us make this creature in our own spiritual nature and character. In essence, this creature shall have our nature and our characteristics. The more you learn about God, the more you find out about yourself, because you have the same characteristics. The more you don't act like God, you're acting out of character. Now let's take a look at this word, moral nature or spiritual nature. Moral nature or spiritual nature is important. That means morality is a spiritual element. You cannot get morality from education. You cannot get morality from a law. Matter of fact, a law reveals morality. Morality is a spiritual product. This is important because the very word nature, image rather, means moral nature, moral character. So when a man violates the morality of God, the man feels guilty automatically, because the man has God's moral nature. So you don't have to tell a sinner he's sinning. He feels it. It goes against his nature. That's why when you hear a man in perversion, he'll tell you, I know this ain't right, but I can do it anyhow. What he's saying is, I know there's something in me saying that this is against what's morally correct, but I've made a decision to violate my conscience. The other point I want you to note here is the word nature. Write the word nature down. The word nature is from the word natural. God says, this creature shall be naturally like us. Spirit being